Alright, here is Booster Gold 10 by one of the most overrated, terrible writers in the world, John Jeffries. So you better get to clicking that dislike button because you all love John Jeffries and his refuse. This ends the storyline with the supposed return of Blue Beetles, and it ends it with the most self-aggrandizing slap in the face possible. John Jeffries killed off Blue Beetles, and people were mad about it. So here he has written a long story baiting those readers and then lording it over them that he was right to kill off their favourite character. Here is this book's supporting cast, and I didn't really talk about these bits, but this fella, they've tweaked it a bit, but his costume looks so much like Marvel's Kaiser. They have added the white and the black here. Last time we saw it, it was just red and blue. It looked just like Kaiser. And it can be a bit confusing because not only is this guy wearing the costume, but one of the baddies is wearing it as well with a mask. Here is the Justice League, and they are now fighting this team of evil time travelers, and it's not that good. It's not interesting. This guy, evil knockoff Kaiser, he is Booster Gold's dad, and when he takes off the mask, he looks like a knockoff Cables. The overall thing here is that the bad guys, they want to fix the time stream by restoring Blue Beetles' original death. It is the odd paradox thing. He was meant to die, and by changing the past, Booster Gold has broken the timeline. It's bothersome here because this story has gone on for ages and really has been to exploit fans of Blue Beetles. There has been like 7 or 8 issues with Blue Beetles up front on the cover, and the entire basis of this story is that Booster Gold has gone back and saved Blue Beetles. The way to do this story, which doesn't need doing, it's been done a dozen times before in other things. The way to do this isn't to pad it out like this and market it this way to trick people into thinking that the outcome is legit, that Booster Gold has saved Blue Beetles, and Blue Beetles is back now. There, look, his dad is a knockoff Cables in a knockoff Kaiser costume. Some of the stuff with him and his dad is alright, but I didn't care for this. There's too many faults. Blue Beetles, he comes to realise that he has to die to make things normal again, and that too many people have died in this alternative future where he never died. And it's meant to be a noble, heartfelt sacrifice, but it's really just John Jeffries relishing the possibility to get away with killing off blue beetles for a second time to annoy everyone. Remember a few seconds ago when I said the stuff with Booster Gold and his dad was alright? Well, John Jeffries undoes all that by revealing it wasn't his dad speaking. All of this hasn't been his dad. He is controlled by Mindworm. This brings us to another complaint. These Villayans are fucking wasted. We have Mindworm, we have Desperado, we have Gorilla Brain Man. These are 5-star threats. These are major baddies. Alone, they are a serious problem. Together, they should be almost unbeatable. As you have seen, they are all pushed to the background, presumably getting beaten up by Superman and Batman off panel. And here is a subplot page with one of the Imperial Guard, Mentor. And I thought myself that this is where the comic could totally lose me, since whenever the Imperial Guard show up, I tend to feel uninvited to the party, and I cannot reckon with their massive cast of characters. But then I turned the page, and this was actually when the comic totally lost me. Knock off Cables. He starts vomiting up 1,000 Mindworms. This is ugly. This is gross. I would be fine if it fit the comic or the tone of the comic. But Booster Gold is always a humorous character. He has always been seen as a bit of a goof. Even before Justice League International, he was always a light-hearted prospect. People didn't look to him and expect a comic with some gratuitous B-movie horror shite like this. This is also, it is John Jeffries' final story on this book. He lasted a pathetic 10 issues. He just wanted his name attached to a character who was seemingly on the up after the 5-2. And then he realised that the character wasn't A-list, and that he hadn't made the character A-list, so he jumped ship, leaving with this lame-arse rehash of Booster Gold fighting Mindworm again, like back in the 5-2. And after this, Dan Jurgens takes over writing the book, as well as drawing it, so it'll likely become much better. So Blue Beetles, do I need to even do this? We all know what's going to happen. It's inevitable. Blue Beetles, he will go back in time and allow himself to die so that nobody has to suffer. Load of pap. And there are plenty of ways around this, but I won't get into them again. The thing is, Blue Beetles, he doesn't have to die. Max Power, he just has to believe that he has killed Blue Beetles to avert this dark future. And time resets, and now Booster Gold is to be concluded in Booster Gold 1 million. which I have, and then that is it for this series. This has been another dismissive review of John Jeffries and his writing. I wanted to end by comparing him to another writer, but I can't really think of an appropriate one. A lot of people would say Michael Brian Benson, but when it comes to the actual writing or even appreciation of comic books, John Jeffries is much better than him. The closest I got was Martin Quaid. There is a similarity there, but even with that, Martin Quaid, he doesn't kill off as many children as John Jeffries does. Martin Quaid is a threat to children for another reason. Let's end with a 7 thumbs up and the very heavy implication that Martin Quaid is a child molester.